I get it, it's weird. You know, there's the guy from the TV entering politics and running a campaign against Tony Abbott. What? I don't understand this. This makes no sense. But it kind of does. We know the system is broken. We know that young people are completely ignored and locked out and think that their vote doesn't count, that they're disenfranchised, that they have no voice that can be heard. And that's exactly what the major parties want. My idea is that we go, no, our voice does count. Let's rock the boat, let's rattle the cage. The trouble is, this two-party system means all you gotta do is be less shit than the other guy. That's it! So I've decided to run a campaign against Tony Abbott in Warringah. I grew up in Warringah, that's where I was born, that's where I've lived most of my life. And people, to be frank, can't stand him. But it's such a safe Liberal seat, they're not prepared to vote Labor. Greens are a bit extreme for them. But what if there was someone who was listening to the community, who believed that they could create change and knew that the voice of the people was more important than these ingrained party structures? And so I thought, somebody should do something. So, who's going to do something? And then I was like, no one's going to do anything. I'm going to have to do something. That somebody is me. That was literally my thought process. Maybe we haven't got a chance. Maybe we can't even make a dent in the party machine, and people will laugh this off and think it's ridiculous, but I don't think so. I think we're going to tap into something that activates young people and makes them think, what if instead of just liking shit on Facebook and, you know, retweeting something we liked or signing a petition on change.org outside of the system, what if we actually change the system from within? It's revolutionary, it's ridiculous, but it's the only way to see real change. I've been involved in protests. I've sort of almost got arrested at protests, and it's great. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of excitement, it's a lot of media attention for a split second, and then nothing changes. And young people feel like, well, if I do that protest, if I sign this petition, if I scream it to my lungs and nothing changes, then what's the point? What's the point of doing anything? The only way to change is to change it from the inside. And that's what we're going to try and do. I think I realised that Tony Abbott's views don't only not reflect the views of people in Warringah, but they don't reflect anyone I know under 30, even under 40. He's against marriage equality. He thinks climate change is a hoax. He doesn't sneeze at the idea that we've locked children up indefinitely in deplorable conditions overseas in order to make sure brown people don't come into this country. And he's lied over and over and over again. I believe you've got to be honest, you've got to be straight up with people, you've got to speak from the heart, and you have to treat people with dignity and humanity. Like, you can stop the boat, sure, but you have to look after the people who are in our care. Gay marriage around the world, what are we doing? Like, we are the only English-speaking developed nation who's like, no, not comfortable with that. Most of Europe has done it for 15, 16 years. The sky hasn't fallen in. He's like a young boy holding his finger in the dike. That's probably not a great analogy for gay marriage, but he's trying to stop the inevitable. And he's also trying to stop two people who love each other from having the same rights as him and his wife have. It's crazy. I've got 2 kids. If you don't realise that climate change is the biggest threat, not just to our planet, but our way of life, then you got to read some more, because every single scientific body who specialises in this is like, this is happening, this is real. If you don't realise at the top level, this is a major issue, not just for this generation, but for future generations, you're being reckless and irresponsible. The idea that he thinks that that is a hoax, when he's never been to a climate change convention, he's never written an article for a climate change journal, he's never seen what it looks like to visibly look at those NASA photos of the Arctic Circle shrinking and shrinking. We're in deep shit if politicians don't take this seriously. And the only way they're going to take stuff seriously and be accountable is if people stand against them and say, you know what? No, we have a voice, we're going to use it. Of course I'm shitting myself. Yes, who wouldn't be shitting themselves? We're up against the big dogs. We're up against the biggest dog there is, Tony Abbott. But I feel like there's precedent, you know? What Bernie Sanders is doing in America, he has done just that. He's tapped into a sentiment that existed that just needed a focal point. Podemos in Spain, the Pirate Party in Iceland, they are saying to young people, let's rise up, Let's use our democratic right to be involved in the process to change the process. Doesn't mean I'm not shitting myself. Doesn't mean, though, that I don't think this is possible. I've been trying to get young people to enrol to vote because about 25 to 30% of young people under 25 just don't enrol to vote. And you know why? Because they think it doesn't matter. They think, well, I vote for a coalition or I vote for Labor. They're essentially the same thing, you know. They're only in it for power. They're only in it for their own agenda. They don't have my best interests at heart. They don't think about what the future is going to be like. So why would you enrol to vote? That's what we're going to try and change. That's why we're trying to put some pressure on the people who hold the power to be accountable. Are you with me? Is anyone with me? Anyone? Okay, obviously it's going to take a while to get the word out. The response has been amazing so far. People are either like, you are crazy, get back in your box, or they're like, thank you, yes, thank you. We needed someone to stand up for the hypocrisy and the dishonesty and the deceit and the lies. And other people are like, were you on Cheese TV? Yeah, everyone sort of said, why now? You know, you're a few weeks into the election campaign, but have you been watching the election campaign? Like, it is liquid Valium. It is a snore fest. Nothing exciting is happening. Nobody's talking about what type of future we're going to have. It's all gotcha quotes and budget black holes and you said this, oh, but you meant that. It's bullshit. I thought nothing's going to change unless someone does something. So why don't we do something? Let's do something. Let's do something. Please, please, let's do something. I will be in a shirt and, you know, jacket for the rest of the campaign. I don't have any political experience, but you know, if political experience means that you deceive the public and means that you break promises and means you never say what you mean, then maybe we need someone who doesn't have political experience. Maybe you need someone who's not of the political elites to actually change the language you use, change the way we approach it, and change how we engage with people who are voting for the future. And people will say, like, independence, oh, well, you know, that's just a wasted vote. That is totally bullshit. I'm sure Tony Abbott's a nice guy at heart. I'm sure Bill Short and Malcolm Turnbull are good guys at heart, but they're part of a political machine. They're part of a political party that means you have to toe the line, otherwise you're out. That's not how people are. We aren't that simple that we just have these set views on things. Independents bring to the table a chance for people to think and vote for their own conscience, not just following a party platform, not just toeing the line. That's why Cathy McGowan, that's why Tony Windsor, that's why Nick Xenophon, all these independent politicians around the country can change how the process works. So yeah, I'm independent. I'm independent. As the great 20th century philosopher Jacques de la Rocca said, it has to start someplace. It has to start somehow. What better place than here? What better place than now?